Hi Jamie and anyone else on my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another episode. My name is Tracy Lee Horson, and I recently started this YouTube channel. It is not the end goal, but once I get closer, I will share what it is. Right now though, we share parts of our lives, experiences, and just things that I feel like you could relate to, it could fill your cup, motivate you, or just be entertaining to listen to. So thank you so much for being here. If you keep coming back to watch the content, thank you so much. I hope that you like and subscribe. If you're my friends and my family, keep watching this and coming back to support me. I love you so much. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm still catching up on my journaling, but what's great is that I have so much to chat about. So that's great. I think I said that. But okay, I want to talk about forgiveness today. And it's not going to be an eerie, dark conversation. It actually was wild how it came into my brain. So just work with me because the storyline as to how I got there might be confusing, but I know you can understand when your mind starts working how you end up somewhere. That's where we're at. So also, I was a bit bougie and I looked up definitions to be fancy. So it's going to be one of those episodes, I think. Also, if it sounds like I'm running, it's because mentally I am. Because my little humans, as usual, they're quiet right now, but they're not sleeping. So I'm trying to speak quick, fast, so that there's no interruption. So let's see how far we can get. So let's get into it. Okay, so just to be fancy, I'm going to read the definition of forgiveness. I've got one from my best friend, which is ChatGPT, and then I've got something that's from the Bible. So listen to this. It says, forgiveness is the decision to let go of resentment, anger, or the desire for revenge against someone who wronged you. It doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the offense, but it means choosing mercy over retaliation and releasing the emotional burden. Okay, cool. Then in Matthew it says, but if you forgive other people when they sin against you, Heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. Also in Matthew it says, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister? And this is something you need to remember, this one. Who sins against me up to 7 times? Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Okay? So why I got into thinking about forgiveness, and this is where I went down a rabbit hole. So I had a lot of family here over the holidays, and I'm also going to speak about that. It was so much fun. And the day that my siblings left, I was so sad. So my parents separated when I was super young, and I have a great stepdad and great stepmom. Great. And they both remarried, and I have siblings from them. Yeah, that sounds right. So my brother and sister from my dad and my stepmom, they came to visit. And when they had left, I was full, my cup was so full. And I was busy showering, and I was like, God, thank you. Like attitude of gratitude on full force. I was like, thank you for my family. Thank you that I have good, close relationships with my siblings and with my parents. And we just have so much love for each other. And then I started thinking about my friendships. And I was like, I have such amazing friends. Like I honestly have wholesome friendships where my friends would do anything. And I would do anything for them. And it's just so great to be at a point where I have amazing friends. And these are not childhood friends necessarily, although I do have a childhood bestie. It's just friendships I got along the way, and now they're like here, and I love it. And then in thinking about that, I was like, wait a minute, what about the friendships I no longer have? And then I was like, what about people who have strife in their family and they don't forgive? And they don't even speak to their siblings? Like, that's wild to me. Or people who are in a relationship with their parents. And I was like, okay, maybe that's why forgiving is such a big deal and why we should forgive, because maybe we're losing out on love or friendships or relationships because we have a certain perception on what forgiveness is and what forgiveness looks like. And then I just started thinking, I was like, let's journal and let's see where this takes us. And that's where we're at. So that's like how I got here, like just the thought process. So just work with me. So then I really thought about my friendships that I no longer have. And I was like, did my friendships end because of unforgiveness, or because it was seasonal, or because I was just obviously like not a great person? And then I was thinking like how many relationships I could still have if we spoke about things. But I know, especially now, we are in a like energy that if you don't match my energy, you're not meant to be in my life, and I can cut you off quickly. We have this energy where like it served me and it no longer serves me, which is fair. These are all fair points. And then also where, you know, if it's not my vibe, I'm just done. We must like that. It needs to match my vibe. But then I really got deep, and I was like thinking about my marriage, and I was like, yo, is there anything my mans can do? Because we have like zero tolerance, I know. And we all like independent women, and we like there's certain things that we will not stand. And this is like the truth. I don't even know if I told my husband this, but like there's some things when I just sat down, I was like, is there something my husband can do that I truly can say, I'll never forgive you? And even if we say, I forgive people, but I will never forget, I don't think that's a true forgiveness, you know. And then it just got me thinking about the next part, like the love stories. I love reading the Bible, so I love it. And I also love the fictional part. So there is a few authors that take Bible stories and then they make like a story behind it. So you'll take a simple story like Jacob and Rachel and Leah, and then it's a simple like Bible story, but they like make it a bit more like lit, you know, like, and that part is obviously fictional, but the basis of the story is obviously true, and I get lost in those. Like if you love reading, you can understand that if you read and cry because you're reading a story, my friend, then you'll definitely understand. So then I wanted to share some stories with you guys just to let you understand like how I now view forgiveness, and then obviously like my conclusion of what I came to when I was journaling. So it sounds a bit messy, but there's sense here, so just bear with me. So then I went down to all my old books and the stories that I read, because when I do read and I enjoy a story, obviously I highlight that. So I'm going to read those because there's quite a few, so that I don't get lost or read them incorrectly. But just stay with me, okay? Don't go yet. So the most important story that I read was Hosea, and I know you guys know this one. This one is about the prophet that God told him to go and marry a prostitute, and he did. And this is the Bible verse literally in Hosea. Then the Lord began to speak through Hosea. Okay, and this is not a Bible lesson, but I just want to incorporate where I got from standing in the shower thinking about how grateful I am for my family, and then my heart just stepped upon forgiveness, and I was just like, oh my word, am I a forgiving person? Do I forgive but I don't forget? And is it healthy? It's just reflecting, okay? But I think it's going to make sense, and it will be very beneficial and will add value, so just hear me out. So in Hosea it says, when the Lord began to speak through Hosea, the Lord said to him, go and marry a promiscuous woman and have children with her, for like an adulterous wife this land is guilty of unfaithfulness to the Lord. Okay, cool. So Hosea obeyed and married this woman now, and she had children but kept leaving him and returning to prostitution. But God told him to forgive her, love her, and take her back again and again. And obviously there's an example of like forgiveness. And I know we all, and this is not promoting toxic relationships. I'm not talking to someone's character or to who someone is. If you are with someone and they become a narcissist or they become a certain trait that is ongoing, I'm talking about something that, okay, but this is a trait, but I'm talking about things where we can forgive. Anyway, I go back to, I'm talking about myself, like with my husband, and I think I actually have told him, like, obviously I'm obsessed with him, but like, yeah, anyway, that's besides the point. I'm getting lost here. And then I looked at other love stories. My favorite love story in the Bible is Jacob and Rachel and Leah. So let me quickly tell you that. You know Jacob and Esau, I think he's saying his name. You know that story. It's everyone, if you're millennial, you know that story about in Bible school. They gave it to us for Sunday school. So Jacob and Esau were brothers, and then his dad was getting very old, and his dad said to Esau, go to the land and go and catch a sheep, slaughter a sheep, not catch it, and then cook for me, because he was the cook. He loved cooking. And or was it his brother? Yeah, no, I'm getting my Bible stories confused. Anyway, they were brothers, and then his mom favored him, Jacob now. So she heard the conversation. I hope I'm making sense now. She heard the conversation, and then when Esau went out to the field to go and get the sheep, then Jacob's mom said, hey, your dad's about to give his blessing because he's about to die, and a blessing that time was given to the first and the oldest child, which was Esau, obviously. So then she's like, look, go and cook for your dad, and then I'm gonna give you some sheep here. I think they put on her arm because his brother was hairy, and he said, and go and get your dad's blessing, and then you'll get all the inheritance. He's like, mom, dad's gonna know. She's like, I got you, dad's not gonna know. Go. Dad's like, who are you? Are you Esau? The son's like, yes, I am. Feel my arm here. Feels it. He's like, okay, you are. The food was good. Gives him his blessing, which is his inheritance. Esau comes back. Esau's like, no, I'm missing a part here. Esau comes back and he's so hungry. Then he gives up his inheritance for a bowl of soup. Guys, I should have read the story before the time. I thought I knew, but that's not the important part. We're getting lost. That's not the important part. I'm getting lost here. Anyway, then Esau finds out that his dad had given his blessing to Jacob, and he goes to his dad, like, Dad, please, can you give it to me? And he's like, I can't. I already gave it to your brother. That's intense, right? And then Jacob, out of fear, runs away, and this is where the love story starts. So then he runs, and I think it's like a relative or distant relative, and then he goes there and he seeks refuge there.